Chamber of Deathlessness is the third full-length album from Darkside Ritual, a Querétaro, Mexico-based death metal band, a quartet, and one that has evolved new lineups and different sounds over the course of their three records by way of the direction of vocalist guitarist Juan Mondragon. You'll probably know his work best more recently from Necronos. If you follow Chaos Records and their releases this year, you should go back and check out Necronos. It's a fantastic death doom metal style record. Great stuff, underground death metal, just like this is. And I think that's the best way to describe where they are now with this record. But if you go back in the discography of Darkside Ritual, you'll find technical death metal, and it will have a raw sound, a lot of sharper, odd-angled riffs, and a little bit of a refinement to the point where there's some piano-led interludes. Obviously, a study of music factors in there. So if you're a fan of kind of Cataclysm and their more raw beginnings, you'll probably appreciate the first record and the second one in some respects. But it was a little bit more bluntly put together with different musicians who were more focused on brutality for that early stuff. For the best context as to where this new record comes from, you'll probably want to go back to 2020 with Relics of Tyranny. It was a different lineup, a little bit of a different focus, leaning into elements that I would say sound a bit more like the Chasm or Execration in general, the more brutal side of Execration, but also the more adventurous side of the Chasm, with records like The Spell of Retribution. And I wouldn't say this is exactly as Dissection-esque. It certainly has a little bit of at the gates in some of the way that some of these ideas clash together, but ultimately this is just something new from the band that focuses more on atmosphere, on blackening some of their sound, on reaching for ornate and thoughtful progressions and movements and riffs, and not so much rawly technical showings. So this is a very technical record. In some respect you can follow along, but it is also very organically presented. This is very much leaning into dark underground sound. It's great to hear a band that embraces the dark sound of underground death metal, but also finds and makes an adventure of it. Every song is a little bit different. It's got a different thread to address. Probably the one song I'll mention here that it was a good way to kind of get into this record and start paying attention to the riffs was To Behold the Miracle of Extinction, probably because there's kind of a necroticism Arakharkis movement in there, but there's also something a little bit closer to Execration as well, and there's just an intensity there that I appreciated. The interesting thing about Darkside Ritual's sound and the songs they put together here balance blackened death metal with something that's a little bit more patient and spaced out, as well as just the brutal technical side of the band, and it makes for songs that are a little bit more illustrative, have a little bit more of a purpose and a statement in what they're pulling together. So everything has improved. The guitar playing has improved. The drummer is maybe a little bit more fit for this sound. The bassist has a strong presence on the album, so it's a strong fusion of black and death metal that, of course, it leans into death metal, but in a very kind of early 90s way, where the attack of black metal, some of the atmosphere fits in there, but it really is all about death metal and the riff. This is the most right that they've gotten it to date. It is a very strong record. I think it was their best so far, and I think it's something worth expanding upon further, because for me this is one of my favorite records of the month. It's one of the best of May in general. Every part of it I appreciate it. I think it'll stick around for me because this is the type of death metal that I like to listen to in my free time, and well, that's kind of the point of the site. The artwork is memorable. The production values are unique to their own sound. It's all been tuned personally to get the sound that they want, and that's kind of what I want from a death metal band, is to really get to where their taste is, not so much the status quo. And so I appreciate that's where this band is coming from, and that they've got riffs too. I mean, that's kind of what matters most at the end of the day, is how entertaining following the thread is, and I got a kick out of it. So check it out for yourself. It released on May 30th, and go ahead and read my written review.